King David was anointed as a child, and he was the youngest of all his brothers. He was the least likely to be chosen or favored. As a matter of fact, his own father, when Samuel was coming to choose a king, they left David out in the fields because he was young and he was just a sheep herder. He was just tending the flock, and he wasn't even considered. And yet God considered him. With that being said, David goes on to have this census carried out against Joab's wishes, and the anger of the Lord burned against him. So David actually had to answer for his actions, which is what we all do. So I don't really want to talk about the story as much because it is a really great story, but I encourage you to read it because this is like a perspective I'm giving. Even though David went on to commit the sin that he knew was sinful, he went on and did it. We sin without knowing, or we choose to do sin and we know that it's wrong. But again, aside from all of that, this is what really stuck out to me. All the times that I read about David, every time he sinned, because it's inevitable to sin, it's why we need Jesus, he always felt that pulling on his heart. He had that conviction, and he always came to God. Not only did he profess his sins, did he repent from his sin, did he turn from his sin, did he admit that sin to God, he chose to be obedient to God. And he didn't get an attitude. He didn't do the why me or you made me this way, God. He took full credit, knowing good and well that God is the sovereign God. God controls all, and that God is the maker and we are the creator. It was really beautiful how, actually, I'm going to resort back to this, that upon the census coming back, David immediately felt shame. Immediately. As a matter of fact, it is said in 2 Samuel 24:10 as well as 1 Chronicles 21:8 that David said to God, I have sinned greatly by doing this. Now I beg you, take away the guilt of your servant. I have done a very foolish thing. It's amazing to me that people who want to talk about Christians or people who claim to be Christians don't have this conviction. It's very difficult for me.